The problem of evil. Where does it come from? In our last discussion, we established three important truths. 1. The universe must have a governor or manager. 2. This governor can only be one, singular and unified. 3. And this governor is purely good. This last point is crucial because it directly connects to the question we are exploring today. If the ruler of the universe is good, then why do we see so much evil around us? Where does it come from? Are these evils illusions? Are we misinterpreting what we see? Or is there another way to understand them? Awareness shapes experience. To resolve this, we need to look at something fundamental within ourselves, our level of awareness. When awareness is low, reality can appear upside down. But as awareness grows, we see the same situation in a very different light. Take waking up from a sleep as an example. When someone shakes us awake, it feels unpleasant at first because our awareness is still low. But the moment we are fully awake and realize it's the right time to get up, that discomfort disappears. Awareness transforms the experience. In the same way, many of the things we call evil are really the result of limited awareness. The universe has a plan. Another key point is this: the universe is not random. It operates with order and purpose. Its ultimate goal is growth and perfection. But growth always involves effort, challenge, and resistance. Just like muscles strengthen through resistance in exercise, souls and beings grow by overcoming difficulties. This is why what looks like evil to us is often the very resistance that fuels growth. It's not punishment or chaos. It's part of the design. Think of it like having a wise coach. A good coach challenges you and pushes you. At times it feels tough, but every challenge is chosen to help you reach your potential. Why some suffer more than others? One question that naturally arises is, why do some people or beings face much greater difficulties than others? The answer is that those with greater potential for growth often face greater challenges. From our limited perspective, this may look unfair, but the universe, which is fully intelligent, places each being in circumstances that allow them to reach their unique potential. Sometimes suffering is also the result of our own mistakes. When people choose harmful paths, the consequences that follow aren't meaningless punishments. They are lessons meant to raise awareness and guide us back toward truth. Do beings really perish? But what about cases where beings seem to perish unnecessarily? For example, when children or animals die, it looks like needless destruction. How can there be goodness or growth in that? To answer this, we need to ask, do beings truly get annihilated? Or does it just appear that way to us? At first glance, death looks like destruction. But if we look more carefully, life is constantly renewing itself. New beings are always appearing. If the universe were simply destroying life without meaning, how would it endlessly replenishing itself? This suggests that beings are not annihilated. Instead, what we are seeing is a change of roles or forms. Analogies for understanding. Think of a wealthy person who spends money freely. To outsiders, it may look like they are wasting wealth. But if they never run out, there are only two possibilities. Either the money is worthless, or the spending is purposeful, part of a cycle of giving and replenishing. Now apply this to the universe. Are beings worthless, destroyed and replaced at random? That would imply we humans are also worthless, which clearly isn't true. Because if we look at it that way, we run into a huge contradiction. It would mean we have to accept that we have no value, while deep down we know two things for sure. First, the very fact of being alive is astonishing and priceless. And second, our intelligence holds an extraordinary worth, since it has allowed us to understand so much about the universe around us and even harness parts of it. So the only reasonable conclusion is that what looks like destruction or disappearance is actually just a purposeful transformation, a change of form that our limited human perspective can't fully grasp. Seeing only a small part of the bigger picture, we mistakenly think it's death, annihilation, or what we call evil. Or imagine watching a movie. A character you love dies in the story, and you feel they are gone forever. But in reality, the actor is still alive, ready to appear in another role. What we saw as destruction was only a storyline. The same applies to life. Behind the scenes, beings continue in new roles and new forms. Why we perceive evil? The real reason we perceive evil lies in one false belief: the idea that we ourselves will one day be annihilated. When we accept this idea, the world looks cruel and unfair. But when awareness rises and we understand that we are eternal beings, our perspective changes completely. We realize that nothing is truly destroyed. Everything is moving forward in growth and evolution. It's like failing an exam. You don't advance to the next level, but you also aren't doomed forever. You simply retake the lesson until you're ready to move on. In the same way, what we see as destruction is really just part of the process of growth. Final insight. So, what we have discovered: 1. The universe has a governor who is purely good. 2. What we call evil is often resistance that fuels growth. 3. Greater challenges match greater potential. 4. What looks like destruction is really transformation and change of roles. And 5. Our perception of evil comes from the false belief in annihilation. When awareness rises, the contradiction disappears. Evil, in the ultimate sense, does not exist. There is only growth, purpose, and eternal continuation. And that is the deeper truth behind what we mistakenly call evil.
The content you just listened to is part of the teachings of Sayyid Said Tagavi Zadeh in the field of theology and the pursuit of true happiness. These teachings are interconnected, so many of the unclear points will become clearer in the upcoming episodes. For this reason, it is important to follow the series from the beginning in order to fully benefit from its inner value. Additionally, there will be separate programs dedicated to answering frequently asked questions. Until the next episode, goodbye and may God be with you.